Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today's topic is going to be some Jamal Adams, Gregg Williams, Pete Carroll, a whole bunch of people having some beef. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast. New episodes are dropping every Monday. So obviously, as we know, the New York Jets moved on from Jamal Adams. They traded him to the Seattle Seahawks for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Bradley McDougall. And obviously, I was a very big fan of this trade. The Jets got tremendous value for a guy who didn't want to be here. Now, he went out the door kicking and screaming, so naturally some people are mad at how Jamal Adams handled everything. And Coach Gregg Williams had this to say when asked about Jamal Adams in the Seattle Seahawks.
Jamal may get bored there because they don't use their safety type things and all the different complexities of maybe not showing what they're doing as much as we do.
Essentially, he's saying that he might be bored with the Seattle Seahawks because they don't utilize their safeties the same way that the Jets do. Now, I wouldn't have said it exactly like Gregg Williams did. I would have preferred if he kind of just said, he's a great player here. He's not with the team anymore. I'm focused on the guys here. But he said what he said. And then Pete Carroll comes back, who, let's face it, Pete Carroll's pretty vocal. Gregg Williams is pretty vocal. We're not surprised at all by this happening. But Pete Carroll comes back and says we don't make as many mistakes as Gregg Williams does. Now, to be fair, last year the Jets' defense was better than Seattle. Seattle finished 18th in the league in defensive DVOA. The Jets were 10th. But as a whole, yeah, Pete Carroll's right. Did you think the Jets YouTuber was going to agree with Pete Carroll? Well, sorry, here we are. They don't make as many mistakes as Gregg Williams or as the New York Jets as a whole. The Jets haven't made the playoffs in a decade. They're not really in a position to be talking smack or however you want to say what this was. I understand some of the quotes were blown out of proportion. I think for the most part he was just saying we utilize our safeties a little bit different. Jamal might miss that. But overall, Seattle won a Super Bowl in 2013. They went back in 2014. They are in it every single year in the mix. So yeah, Seattle doesn't make as many mistakes as the Jets. That's a given. Or as Gregg Williams. Gregg Williams, great defensive coordinator, no doubt about it, but let's face it, has made some mistakes in his career. See Bountygate, for example. I don't mind as much when the players get involved, but when the coaches get involved, it's kind of just adding an extra target on your back, and I don't necessarily think the New York Jets should be putting themselves in a position to add a target on their back to go on the road in Seattle. It's going to be tough as is. Then a motivated Jamal Adams and a motivated Seattle Seahawks team. It's going to be a tough game for sure. I'm obviously, not only because I'm a Jets fan, but storyline, I would love it if the Jets were able to stick it to Jamal Adams, but I'd be lying if I was saying that I'm A, confident in the Jets winning that game, or B, not nervous about that game. I'm extremely nervous. I think it's going to be an absolute blast, though, heading up to it. There's going to be a lot of drama, a lot of storylines, which is good, but in another way, at the same time, you could probably do without the controversy when it comes to the New York Jets, right? Look, at the end of the day, Gregg Williams still has, even without Jamal Adams, still has a solid safety room. Bradley McDougall should be absolutely fine. Marcus May is an underrated safety. He's a good player. Ashton Davis is going to be in the mix. I think he's going to be just fine, he being Gregg Williams. With what he has at the safety position, I'm really not too worried about Jamal Adams leaving this team. Yes, he's a phenomenal player. There's no doubt about it. But the Jets got a fine starting caliber player back in return for him and 3 draft picks. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below or on social media. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you next time.